is nothing as powerful as a changed mind. You can change your hair, your clothing, your address, your spouse, your residence. But if you don't change your mind, the same experience will perpetuate itself over and over again because everything outwardly changed, but nothing inwardly changed. If you want something out of life, if you want to change yourself, if you want to acquire something, if there's some goal that you want to reach, changing your behaviors, overcoming negative habits, it's challenging. It's hard. Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents. The only thing that's going to make you happy, my friend, in this year or any other, is to step up. It's to raise the standard. It's to discover what you're capable of and feel that incredible power pushing through whatever's holding you back and get to the other side of more of your true self. That's what this game's all about. When you step into your fears and continue to push yourself to go on, something happens for you. If you look at somebody who's really successful, you think, wow, they're so amazing, they're such a genius. You gotta dig underneath, you gotta remember something. People are rewarded in public for what they practice for years in private. If you don't develop the courage to do that which has been given you to do, and you spend a lot of time going around let's go people trying to get their approval, what will happen is that you will lose your nerve, and other people will convince you that what you're doing doesn't have any value, and you give up on your dream. How much time do you have left? How much time do you... Let's go, let's go. Good morning, family. Had to start the day off with a little bit of fire to go ahead and light an audio, light an audio to get you fired up, going for this morning. I love it, I love it. Let's go. Diamond's ready to go. I love it. So today we have a topic that many don't talk about a lot, and I feel like this is the perfect time to go ahead and dive into the subject. We got this morning from the GOAT himself, Sean G. Murphy. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to everybody today, because I feel this is something where when you really get it, it's gonna answer a lot of the questions you might have been asking yourself as to why you might have been in a little bit of funk, right? You might have feel like you've been a little bit foggy lately. Well, this is gonna get you quote unquote unstuck. This is gonna get you from being froze to literally breaking out of that structure into the highest version of yourself. So before we go ahead and dive into today, let me go ahead and go live on IG. But as I'm getting live, let's drop down a little bit of gratitude. What is everybody grateful for coming into Thursday? We are almost to the end of the week. We are wrapping up the end of the month. We are wrapping up the end of 2022. So what are you grateful for today? What are maybe some lessons that you've been able to actually take from this year as well? Go ahead and drop it down in the comments. I'm sure the viewers will get a lot of value. So go ahead and drop it down below. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful for the mind, for the body, for the spirit, every day to be intentionally working on getting them each aligned, because I know this is where the magic is. I'm so grateful for the growth that's been happening to each and every one of you. I've been seeing the deep work, and trust me, it does not go unnoticed. So keep pushing. Just know we are just getting started. So let me go ahead and get live, and we're getting into today. Gearing for... All right, here we go. The 3 responses, okay? Fight, flight, and freeze. Believe it or not, there's actually 5 of them, but I'm not going to get into those today. I'm going to stick with the first 3, and I'm really going to focus on, I gave you a hint in the title, which one is going to play a major role in today's training, so you guys can see it. So stay tuned. This is going to be a training that you do not want to miss. So get out your pen, get out your paper, and let's go ahead and get into it. All right, family. So today we're going to be talking about the fight, flight, or freeze response. And when you really understand this at a deeper level, you're really going to be able to go ahead and
realize probably where one of your gaps might have been, right? Because honestly, for me, listening to this was a big aha moment. So a couple of things I want to go ahead and get into today. The first thing is first, if you were to ask your social media, right? If you were to put out a question today, right? You all know you can put out a poll, you can put out a question. If you were to ask a question to either your social media, maybe the closest people around, and feel free to do this today, ask them what do they think, what do they believe that your superpower is, okay? This is going to get your wheels turning. This is going to get you thinking maybe some thoughts you haven't thought in a while because you might have been inside your head a little bit too much. I was talking about this on a couple of calls the past couple of days, and I've realized this is a trending topic, right? Even for myself included, right? I'm going to get so bold coming into 2023 because I understand this is the time to really go ahead and get out into the unknown, right? Because at the end of the day, the ones that stick out, that are willing to get bold, they're going to look like diamonds in the rough coming in 2023 when mental awareness is so big right now. Everybody's looking for somebody to follow. So right now, if you were to ask your closest circle, if you were to ask social media, what would they say that your superpower is, and what do you guys feel like it is below? Now I'm gonna start getting your wheels turning. Jojo, Lady Boss Nikki, right? Diamond, what do you feel like it is? What are some of the strengths that you feel like you have? And you're gonna be surprised on some of the answers that you get back. So that's my little piece of homework for you guys today. You can go ahead and implement even just starting out, right? What is the main thing? And now let's peel the onions back a little bit deeper. Paint your vision. So I'm helping you paint the vision for yourself right now. So what is the main one thing that you want to be known for if you were to have a list of 5? Go ahead and drop down 5 things that you believe right now that if somebody were to write your list, they'd say about you. Is it your work ethic? Is it your passion, right? For me, it was a non-negotiable. I made sure that for the past couple of years, my consistency, my work ethic, my passion, my vision held tight throughout this whole time. That was non-negotiables for me. That's something that nobody could say I've been able to hold through the storms, right? That's what I see for myself. So for you, what do you think your main 5 are? And if you were to really get down to it, what is the main one thing that you think people remember you for, right? For myself, consistency, being able to show up every single day, no matter what. So this is huge. So out of the 5 things that you feel like, if you were to ask a question out to your social media, what do you think my superpower is? If they gave you 5, what is the main one that you want to be known for? Is it your heart? Is it your love? Blue Note, what's happening? Happy Thursday. Warrior Spirit, I see you. So this is part of building your brand. This is part of truly knowing who you are. This is going to take time to critically think, but I'm telling you right now, this is some of the most powerful thought process that you can actually take the time to do for yourself, because I'm telling you, what comes on the backside is limitless. But you've got to do the work on the front end, because if you don't know what you stand for, you'll fall for anything. That's what they say. If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. But when you know what you stand for, when you have high priorities, guess what? You start to say no to a lot more things that you used to literally succumb to. You don't have time anymore to go ahead and waste time with individuals who's not giving an exchange of value. You know what I realized in my past 5 years of entrepreneurship, how relationships should work? People say, well, don't use me. Don't use me. Well, you know what the truth is? If you don't use people, you're useless. So what do I mean by that? Life should be a value exchange, right? We should be able to get value from each other. So if you're spending time with a lot of individuals and it's a one-way street and you wonder why you're drained all the time, well, this could be a big reason why. So I started to associate with individuals where I was constantly getting value. I was constantly learning from, so I could go out and back and go pour out into others, right? So if everybody else is good, drop some 2s, just making sure. If you guys can hear me, if you can see me, Nikki's having some technical. So drop some 2s if everything's good. My one word is determined. I love it. Good stuff. Fire. So this is getting you think a little bit. So take today to draft up your superpower statement. So that's 1. Now go ahead and take the time to get 4 more. Now you're going to really start building your superhero, because this is how I want you to view yourself waking up every day. You are the superhero when you wake up inside of your life, right? For me, it's just like I have 2 sides. I have defined, and then I have defined dreams. And every day I can make a decision to step into the highest version of myself, just like you, Lady Boss Nikki, Jojo, right? Diamond, you all have a higher version of yourself that we get to decide to go ahead and run the day, so the day is not running us, okay? So next thing I want you guys to think about coming into 2023, is the power of being able to build your list. Okay. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this is one of the most powerful things that anybody can do is building your list. Tony Robbins, whether you know this or not, he can go out, he can make $2 million in a matter of a weekend just by sending out one email because he's been able to build a list. He's been able to build his network. There's a reason why they say your network is your net worth, right? So it's worth it if you take time to build a list. How do you go about building a list? I'll give you one example. You ready? Give value. Give value. Being able to give value on a consistent basis, how anybody can go out building a list. Matter of fact, you can make an ebook that's literally 1 page long, giving 3 tips on anything. And now you have a way to go ahead and funnel people into your value so they can get a sneak peek of the value that you have. And now they got a piece of the cake. Now they're going to want to take a whole bite. This is how you really create influence. Okay. So there's an idea for you. So let's keep building a little bit deeper, right? Let me ask you this question. A lot of people tell me, well, D, I'm afraid to build my brand. I'm afraid to become successful. I'm afraid to really put myself out there. Here's my first question for you. How much money do you believe that we're leaving on the table by not going after really building our brand? Let me ask you that question. Drop it down below. Let me publish it. Let's go. It's time to get it out. Right? How much money are we leaving on the table by not putting out some of the things that we're afraid to be doing? That video, that ebook, that podcast, right? I don't know if you guys know this or not, but here's the truth, okay? It's 6 to 7 figures. Here's what I know, right? We have so much value. We have so much inside, but to be able to hold it to oneself, it's limited, right? The world is so abundant, but we can never get everything that we want by keeping our hands closed and clenched, right? The world works in abundance when your hands are open, right? And we're in flow state. We're producing. We're taking the action. We're learning, and we're going out. We're producing. Let's go. Whole bag left on the table. Big facts. So check this out. I want to dig a little bit deeper. Watch this. Here's my question for you, right? 3 reasons why you should build. 3 reasons why you should build your brand. Okay. Number 1, your brand is bigger than any company that exists. I say this example all the time. The biggest brand used to be Maybelline, right? The biggest makeup brand. Now the biggest brand is one person. It's Kylie Jenner. So when I tell you big companies are afraid of individuals like you and I because of the impact that we can make. Here's another example. Kanye West, right? Kanye West. Boss Lee gave a great example about this. She said, you should want to become, and I don't like saying should, but I'm going to give it in her context. She said, you should want to become uncancelable. Meaning no matter what anybody does, they can't cancel your show, right? You still keep showing up. They could try to cancel him, but guess what? He just showed up on another platform. He just showed up his face in another angle. And guess what? You can't get away from the man. This is called omnipresent. So if you want to know one of my big words coming into 2023, even what I've been on for this year, but I'm getting really intentional for this next 365, it's called omnipresent. If you don't know what that word is, go Google it. Omnipresent simply means just that. You cannot look up, down, left, right without seeing your face. And this is where real value comes in. This is where being a real influencer comes in. Right, Jim Rohn? We get paid for the value we bring to the marketplace. Service to many leads to greatness. So how much service, how much value can we pour out into this next year? That's my big focus. That's why I told y'all leadership is a huge segment of what I'm diving into as far as learning for 2023, right? So now let's go ahead and get into the main topic for today. I told you we're talking about fight, flight, or freeze. Well, here's the deal, okay? We have 3 main emotions. Fight. It's easy for us, and we've all felt that emotion. Something goes wrong in life. We wake up in the morning, one thing pisses us off, or we're angry for the whole rest of the day. We want to fight the world. We've all had that response, right? Drop some 2s down below if you guys have felt that before. There's a lot that wake up and live that every day. That's the fight. Now let's talk about flight, right? Flight is going to be the opposite. Flight is going to be fear. What does fear stand for? Who can give me the 2 meanings for fear? Face everything and run, or face everything and rise. You see, but when it comes to flight, there's nothing wrong with being fearful. There's nothing wrong with running from certain things. In fact, our brain is designed to do that. Our brain is designed to go ahead and save us for survival from things that are actually dangerous, right? There's things that are dangerous, things that have real fear as a fact, And there's things that we've caused fear as false evidence appearing real. So not to tell you there's certain things you shouldn't run away from, right? If a tiger comes out and jumps out here in Florida, I should be running. That's fearful. But if I'm fearful of speaking on stage, if I'm fearful of creating relationships, if I'm fearful of stepping out to the highest version of myself, guess what? That's false evidence appearing real. That's the flight we don't need to be flighting from. That's the fear we don't need to be running from. In fact, that's the fear we need to be leaning in towards. That's the fear we need to get a little bit closer to, because that's where the growth is. That's where the magic really happens. And then we have the third one, freeze. I told you this was the most important part of the training. This is why I highlighted that word, freeze. Okay? If you feel like you've been frozen for the past couple weeks, the past couple months, even the past couple years, okay, this might be why. You see, things that are frozen, they have to be standing still. They have to be stagnant. They have to be in one place to be frozen. You've never seen something really that's moving that's frozen, right? That's why packages, that's why even meat, anything that's shipped, eventually it thaws out. Because why? It's moving. It's not stuck in a freezer in one spot. So the main reason why people are frozen, right? Stevie, fear exists in the mind. A threat can be assessed. Fear is manifested internally. Facts. It's internally. It exists in the mind. So when you think about it, right? Frozen. A lot of us are frozen in life because we stop moving. We stop taking the action. And I know what that's like. I know what it's like to have life hit you from all these different angles. I've had some of the worst things life could throw at you. But here's also what I know. Everybody has a story. My story is not worse than anybody else's, right? At the end of the day, we're all dealt a deck of cards, and how we play the game ends up returning in our result. So here's what I want to get to, okay? If we want to get unfrozen, a lot of the times it comes from taking the action that we're afraid to be doing. You see, when I was living out of my car, when I was 30K in debt, when I lost my sister to cancer, I had all of these things getting out of college happening to me in life. I knew if I crawled in a ball, if I kept crying and complaining, I wasn't going to bring anything else better into my life. In fact, I was going to attract more negativity into my life, because I learned about the law of attraction. What we think about, we bring about. What we think about, we bring about. So if I kept thinking of lack, if I kept speaking lack, if I kept feeling lack, guess what I was going to bring about more in my life? Just that. And if you wonder why you've been feeling that in your life right now, well, this might be why. And all this comes from, a lot of the time, is right here. It's internally. It comes from inside of the mind. It comes from limiting self-beliefs. It comes from the negative self-talk. It comes from addiction to other people's approval. All of these different things. But it's funny how all of those are internally. So you know what the beauty about that is? I didn't need to not be living out of my car anymore. I didn't need to wait till the weather to change. I didn't need to wait till there was a new president to change my situation. All I had to do was change the switch in here, was flip the switch internally. And that's where the transformation began. I started to realize I didn't need everything outside. I needed to create a stronger connection within, with my creator, with who I wanted to become. Start painting that vision every day. So you know what I started doing? I started taking action. I didn't have a cameraman. I wasn't used to taking videos. I wasn't used to speaking. But you can go back. You can look at my YouTube videos. I used to stutter the whole video, right? A lot of my videos were choppy. They weren't great at the beginning. For most of us, we're not great the first time that we do something. In fact, even the best things that you're great at now, you can see how much you've grown even as time went by. So at the end of the day, there's nothing that we can do every day that we're not going to be able to grow at for 365. So I made the decision that I'm going to get better. At least it's called the principle of Kaizen. If we can't grow 1% better, we can at least grow 1/10 of 1%. So what is that 1/10 of 1% that you can do today? Is that making that video? Is it throwing that event? Is it making that live account? Is it starting your e-commerce store? Is it ready to go out and put some ads on it so you can get some sales coming in? What is that for you? I don't know what that is. To everybody, that's going to be different. But for 2023, I strongly encourage you to take the time before this year starts to really get this vision on paper, right? I don't have my notebook out here, but every year before the beginning of the year, I like to write a congratulations letter to ourselves. And I didn't make this up. I got this from our mentors that are making 25, 100, 250K, 750K, not a year, but a month. So at the end of the day, success leaves clues. It's not about the money. It's about the person they've been able to evolve and become, and there's a reason why they do what they do. So can you really get a clear vision coming into 2023? Can you see yourself speaking on stages? Can you see the impact coming in? Can you see the messages coming into your phone, the phone calls blessing you for all the work, all the passion that you've been able to pour out into the world? You've got to be able to see it before it happens, right? If you think about a professional kicker, right? I'm going to give you an example because I love sports, right? This is going to prove to you, you have to see it before it happens. I'm just going to give you football for an example, okay? Professional field goal kicker. When they take the 3 steps back behind the ball and the 2 steps to the side, every single time before they have the kick, you got to think about it. There's thousands of people watching in the stands. There's all of this pressure, and it's all condensed in this little moment of 5 seconds. All of this pressure, and they get paid millions of dollars for a 5-second window. Why do they get paid so much money? You know why? Because they've learned how to be, number one, be present in the moment. Get paid millions to be present in the moment. Number two, they've learned how to visualize what it is that they desire. You see, every time before they kick the ball, they envision it going in before it even happens. They can see themselves taking the 3 steps, kicking the ball, it going straight down the line and right through the field goal, and the whole crowd clapping. They see it every time. How do I know? Because I've been there. I've been an athlete my whole life. Before I ran the play, I had to envision myself scoring. Before I had the ball, I had to envision myself making it. Before I ran out on the track, I had to envision myself literally getting first place before I crossed over the line. This is why athletes end up being so successful in business, because there's certain skill sets that have already been trained. So those of you that are athletes, those of you that experience any type of competition, any type of deep work like this, you know what I'm talking about. So the moment you can really get clear on your future, this is Jim Rohn said it best. He said, when the promise is clear, the price is easy. When the promise is clear, the price is easy. When you know what it is that you want, it doesn't matter what gets in your way. I don't need to be frozen anymore by other people's opinions. I don't need to worry about what anybody says. At the beginning, I used to be like that. People told me, D, trading is a scam. You're never going to make any money. Why are you wasting so much time on your phone? Why are you getting on so many Zoom calls? Bro, you're taking notes like you're back in college. What are you, a nerd? You're reading all day? Bro, you're grounding. You look like an idiot. You know how much I got at the beginning? People thought I was crazy. People thought I was psychotic. But I had to understand, follow the masses and do the opposite. If you do what everybody else does, you'll get what they get. And if you're on this call, you're not built to be average. You're built to leave a legacy. You're built to make a serious impact, not just for yourself, not just for your family, but I believe for many that are around you. Because it only takes one candle to go ahead and light a million other candles. So family, for 2023, my question is, are you ready to get dangerous? Are you ready to get dangerous to fear and doubt? Are you ready to get dangerous to negativity and lack? This is Sean's topic going into all 2023. I'm picking back right on it because I love it. Are you ready to look at that? The wind's firing up. Look at that. God's throwing things around because the energy is real. This is literally how I feel. It's flowing to me and through you. Energy can never be destroyed. So I hope my energy can only be transferred to you through this screen because I'm fired up, family. I'm about to go take a 3-hour drive to Orlando. I'm about to do an event, 3 hours, right? I'm going to drive out at 3. We got an event from 7 to 9. Going to make the drive straight back 3 hours. Why? Because I love the journey. Love the journey. Took me a long time to realize that this growth process is not just about getting to the destination, because guess what? The second that you get whatever it is that you think you're trying to get, there's always something else that you're going to want to go grab. So I started loving the process. I started loving the journey. I started loving the failures. I wasn't great at speaking. Guess what? I'm going to go beat at my craft every day. I wasn't the best at trading. I was losing trades. Let me go get back in the field. Let me go get back to my notebooks, back to my Go Lives, and study up some and take some more notes. There's always more growth to be made. So if we know we can do more, I promise you, family, we can absolutely become more. So with that being said, that's my training coming in to 2023. You know, I'm so excited because in 5 years, I've really never been in this position where I know that all of us have never been in a better place time or with the mentorship and access that we have right here, right now. I already saw what happened in COVID. And if you didn't realize what happened in COVID, this is when we had one of the biggest explosions. Why? Because people know you can't just have one stream of income anymore. People know that multiple streams of income is absolutely imperative. And now, especially coming into a recession. This is why, family, we have what people are looking for. We have the value. We have literally recession-proof skill sets right at our fingertips. Doesn't matter what happens in the economy. Doesn't matter what happens with the president. It doesn't matter if a hurricane category 5 comes and slaps Florida again. It doesn't even matter, because we're withdrawing trades. We have residual income. We have e-commerce stores go get ka-chings, right? We have social media monetize. We have all of these different ways to go ahead and create for ourselves into the new year. So when I tell you, family, in the next 1 to 2 years, there's no doubt in my mind whether or not everybody on this call can and will be a 6-7 figure earner if you believe in yourself and if you really take the action, family. There's no doubt in my mind. So with that being said, this is my training for everybody today. I hope you got a little bit of value. I'm excited for what's to come. If nobody told you today, I'm proud of you. I'm grateful for you. I appreciate you. And I see you going nonstop every day. It does not go unnoticed. And just know, family, this is the nucleus. This is the core to go ahead and lead the way for those that are to come and to step in your shoes. So if you got any value for today, go ahead and smash that like button. Drop some 7s down below. And family, it is your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. Remember, you can be, do, or have anything that you can hold in your mind. I promise you, you can hold it right here in your hand. It's already done. We are the solution. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Another episode, Rise and Shine with Define. Anybody in Orlando, let me know. We'll see you out there in a couple hours. Let's get to work. It's game time, fam.